Welcome back to Procrastination Podcast. Talk about anime life and everything in between. My name's Matt.
I'm Robert.
I'm Alonzo.
And we're back, finally, after so long. And it feels so good. After Blerdcon, which was, almost life-changing. Almost life-changing sort of event, So it is definitely a canon event that anyone that's an anime lover needs to go to, especially if you're blurred. But anyway, I digress. We're glad to be back. It's been a minute. Like I said, we just hit Blerdcon last weekend. Tried to get this out sooner, but life is lifing. So it happens. But we just want to talk about our experience there. We met a whole lot of cool people. Shout out to all you guys. I can't even name all the people. There's so many people we met, like probably close to 100 people. But really some really, really cool folks out there. Had a great time, and so we're just going to talk about our experience, and I guess if you guys want to start about your general experiences, but I guess before that, it's been a while. You want to let people know what we've been up to. What have y'all been up to?
I mean, I've been living normal life. Haven't been doing anything new, but been trying to make time for the conventions and such. So been trying to work a little bit harder, split some time in so I can get some time off. So that's been my life.
Facts.
I've just been dying in this heat, going to work, coming home, just melting all the time, getting these dizzy spells. It is wicked hot out there, man. But now, just like I said, I've been going to work, getting work done. Like, it's actually been pretty good since I've been moved back to another team. So bosses ain't riding me so hard and telling me I'm stupid all the time. So good stuff. Personal life, I ain't doing nothing. I started making an app. That's kind of hit a dead end right now. So I'm just here chilling, like I always do, chilling in the heat. Trying to cool off the best I can.
Yeah. Yeah, like he said, we got an app kind of in the works. Alonzo's doing most of the works because it's not my forte. But we got that in the works. Hopefully, get that up and running next couple months or so.
No promises, nothing.
No promises. No promises. But
I don't owe you guys anything. You owe me something.
We are making no revenue off of this, and we're putting in a lot of money. So it'd be nice, actually, low key. No, but yeah, people be stealing pictures. No, I'm stop. but no. But yeah, we're hopefully going to get that out at some point. At least some form, maybe not the completed version we wanted, but at least in some form to use it, some of the cons and stuff. But we'll see what happens. We'll at least try to get something up and works, next couple months. But outside of that, like I said, we'll have a little bit of a different look to our podcast again, a little more editing with that and tweaking. So we'll see how that goes and let us know how you like that. And really, only other thing is, at least part of our procrastination crew will be at Otakon as well. I think I've back to back, and it's my pockets don't like it. Pockets don't like it at all. but we're for the people, and when the people say they want us at the con.
I'm not for the people. I'm not going. I just gotta know.
Like he said, he owes you nothing. He owes you nothing.
This man is consistent, if nothing else. Again, yeah, we're going. This will be my first one, so that's why the main reason I'm going. I think so. And we have some other friends outside of this procrastination circle that wanted to go, so. Hopefully they don't bail on us last minute, but we'll be going. We've already bought cosplays for it. So if you see us there, say hey, stop for an interview, stop for a picture, stop for something. Just say hey, be human. That'd be nice. But yeah, outside of that, for me, myself, just finishing up with some school stuff and trying to work on getting out of this freaking place, getting a new job, trying So we'll see what happens. Hey, man, I'm a man of faith. I'm just throw it up to God,
You are working
and whatever
hard, man.
happens.
You will be rewarded handsomely. I want to say that you've been working hard. You made it here. Great job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, I'm a man of faith. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna just put in whatever I can put in and leave the rest up to God, and it'll work out whatever way it's supposed to. I ain't worried about it no more. All the rest of the stuff, it'll pass anyway. You'll be left with just you and whatever you really truly care and put into the world. So that's what I'm worried about. Anyway, without getting too philosophical today, we're gonna get into talking about Blerdcon a little bit because like I said, we just came back from that last weekend. I think general experiences, had been, pretty good from a lot of people in and around that we talked to, interviews. So they really pushed us to go, and we saw a couple of them there. So it was good to see them there, and at a second con, maybe third con for some people. I think second con for most people though that we saw there. So that was cool. And so yeah, they really pushed us to go there, and I think overall good experience. How did y'all feel on it?
I agree. Oh, overall, good experience. Overall, yeah. Like I didn't. I don't know. I felt like way more comfortable there.
Right.
So conversation was great. Yeah, I love a lot of it, and I'm gonna go into some of that when we talk about our favorite parts. But yeah, like generally speaking, it was really good.
Right.
I had high expectations for it going into the event. Not going to lie about that. I'd say it lived up to it the first day at least. So it was pretty hype, pretty cool to see all the people, all of the clan there. Not the Ku Klux Klan, but
All the clan.
our tribe of people.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say.
I got you. We got you.
Oh, that would have been terrible if they were there. Oh Lord. Anyway, yeah, it was a good deal out there. We met a lot of people, so it was a lot of fun. Uh, like the heat was the only downside, and of course, with all the people there, you only got so much room for stuff. So, they're gonna do better in future years, even if it grows bigger. So I think it's a good place to be.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're actually in there, and I think that was a big announcement for anyone that didn't go. That was the big announcement at the end of the con is that they're moving it. At least I don't know if this is permanent or temporary, but at least for this upcoming year, 2025, they're putting it for March. So that'll be a pretty significant change. And I was telling somebody, I was like, I don't know how some of the girls are going to like that as far as the weather, but I somehow don't think that'll stop too many people.
There's a will, there's a way.
Right. Actually, though.
There, we let them eat cake.
If you didn't have diabetes before you got there, you will by then. But yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, generally really good experience. Like I said, it was really cool to see some people that we had seen at some past cons, some repeat con goers. And I mean, I think just in general, the cosplays I think this was the most unique set of cosplays I'd seen, which I really enjoyed. Just like the nostalgia I got brought up from like Cartoon Network stuff, from just like Black culture stuff, from like just unique their own cosplays from different anime I hadn't seen in a while. Like, oh my gosh, it was just an awesome amalgamation of just like all these things from my childhood and from Black culture, from anime culture, and it was so cool to see. So just some really really cool cosplays, and like Robert said, some really good conversation as well. So I guess yeah, and that kind of segues into like just like all the good things about it. I guess let's kind of start off with our favorite things about about the con, because like for me, I think it was definitely at least one of those things was, like Robert said, the conversation. So I don't know, how did you feel like that differed from different other cons before this one?
Yeah, I don't really know how it happened. I don't know how. I don't know what the situation was that allowed this to happen. But we sit down at this table, and we're just we got some barbecue or whatever. We went to
Right.
to eat barbecue, and there's just a guy sitting there. We're like, all right, I mean, why not join? Why not have him join some conversation? And I'm telling you, this is like the most honest someone. I don't know, is honest, but like passionate, right? Like about something that I've like conversation that I've had in a long time. So it's like even in the previous cons, I mean, during the interviews is different, right? But
Right.
like this was not during the interview and completely impassionate
Right.
conversation about video games and other nerd stuff that is just like, yeah, it was great and felt so welcoming too, right?
Right.
Like all the conversation just felt like I want more conversation. You know what I mean? Like you can feel them wanting more interaction with you as you're talking to them too. So
Right.
again, that felt different. I don't
It
know
just
why.
flowed.
Right? Yeah. I mean, yeah. So that's been definitely one of my favorite things
Right.
in the con.
Yeah, if you don't know, audience, Kingdom Hearts 2 is apparently the greatest game ever made,
Yeah.
and people will fight you for that. So, yeah, y'all went in on Kingdom Hearts. Like I was so confused what was happening. I was just sitting there, just like all in my eyes, like man, these guys were going at it. Y'all just talking and talking and talking about Kingdom Hearts. Like I know it's a sprawling franchise, but my goodness, yeah, right. You got the thing right there. So
That is my ish, man. Kingdom Hearts, for those that don't know, you will learn today. That's my favorite game of all time. And I have real reserve. Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best game of all time. That is my favorite game of all time for me. You can think what you want, have what you want. I freaking love Kingdom Hearts 2 specifically. Kingdom Hearts 1 is amazing because it gets you introduced to the whole universe. But Kingdom Hearts 2 is like so often where sequels fall short. It just takes it that next level above and is like, oh my gosh. Unfortunately, Kingdom Hearts 3 did not do that. But, it's okay. Sometimes we can't live up to the past. But I'm really, that's why Kingdom Hearts 2 for me was so impressive because it not just lived up to it, it surpassed it by a good little margin. And I think that's pretty unanimous from all the people that I know that loved Kingdom Hearts. But again, in general, I love the franchise, love the game. So it was really cool to have a conversation about it. And again, it's the first time I've had a conversation about that game in years, I feel like. So that's partially why I was so impassionate myself. And he, again, equaled my passion, if not even more than me. And it was crazy because, like, he wasn't even in cosplay, right? So you think typically, like, well, not in a, an anime or like Kingdom Hearts or like cosplay or anything like that. He's just kind of like in a cosplay from basically a movie, Book of Clarence, if you've ever watched that movie. He's cosplay. And he looked just like the dude, which is crazy.
Yes.
That issue was actually wild. But yeah, I think that was a really, really cool part of it. And I think it's in general, like you said, in general, the conversations flowed easily, and people would just bump into you and like never a problem, right? It was just like chill, like, oh yeah, yeah, good, okay, good. And even then, sometimes that would lead into a conversation or into like a compliment or like rock with your hat, your cosplay is awesome, blah blah. And that was really cool too. Things that normally people would think would incite someone would do the opposite and just start a conversation, which is great. So.
I definitely bumped into a few people and stepped on the back of their shoes. I was ready to defend myself from them. They never came. I was shocked.
Right. It was great. It really was. Everyone was so friendly. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we even made a friend. Like, what's his name? Alfred, Fred. Shout out to you, Fred.
All right, shout out to Fred, man.
That was cool.
Right, man. Fred, we saw him at what con was that? I think NecoCon, maybe. Way back when, and we saw him again at this con. We just coincidentally, we didn't even know he was coming to this con, so that was crazy. Like we didn't even know he was coming, and he was on his own this time because he was with someone else last time. So we kind of brought him into the Procrastination crew for a little bit, and it was a good time. And me and Fred hung out late nights when I was abandoned.
Okay,
I'm playing, but it was cool. That was cool. It was cool to like I said, have those conversations, meet some new folks, and yeah, I feel like even amongst other anime conventions, like we talked about before, it just flowed so much easier, and so many other people just like random gestures. Like I told you guys, people kept giving me alcohol.
You were playing a wild game, taking alcohol from random
Extra
strangers.
creamy.
Extra cream. Stop it. No, Diddy, man. We need some for context. I was given a peanut butter flavored alcoholic beverage in a very small bottle. I did not drink it, but I did give it away, and they drank it. I think they're fine, probably. I don't know. But anyway, I was also given peach moonshine, and I ain't a drinker, so I should not have even sipped that. It was way too strong for me. But I appreciate the gesture. That's you know. Do you have any gestures? Like anybody do anything? Give you anything? Stickers, alcohol, anything? Just me?
I got a sticker. Trey
Oh,
Digger.
nice. Trey Digger.
He won the rap contest.
Oh, he gave you a sticker when he won?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, dang. See, I missed that ish. What was I doing during that?
Yeah, you
I
went
was
down the
walking
steps.
downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
18 flights of stairs.
Yeah, exactly.
America, he is crazy. I will never walk down 18 flights of stairs.
Yeah.
Going down may be easier than going up, but that's still a load on your legs, on your knees. I ain't trying to break my knees falling down 18 flights of stairs like that. Come on.
And Albert talked about it afterwards, and he was like, I had to stop in the middle, man. Like I had to take a break, okay? And while I was taking a break, I talked to this one person. I was like, that's crazy. 18 flights.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Elevator. With Alonzo.
I couldn't wait that long, man. It was too long, dude. It was way too long. So many people waiting for the elevator. I was like, man, watch the elevator get stopped or something. It's just my luck. I was like, last thing you need is someone my luck on that elevator. Then everything just stops. You don't want to be up there. So saved everybody the the disgrace and horror, and avoided that. But
here's what I wanted to talk about. There's a theme that I got from the convention, right? And I think it's just Black people in general do this, but inspiration. I felt so inspired the whole time, right? Like first thing we go to Family Feud, right? We go to Family Feud, and it is exactly how I wanted if we had a panel.
100%.
100% exactly what I wanted. Yeah, like the way they just ask questions, everyone's engaged. Even the crowd is like, everyone's talking about like, oh man, that should have been first. This should be
right.
Everyone. So that is one of my again, if we ever we're gonna have 500 soon. All right, 500's coming soon. That's enough to give me a panel.
Probably.
But, we have that, and some of the questions were very similar to how we have our app thing coded too. So it's like, this is it, man. This is a sign. We should have our own panel and do our own things. And then right after that, go into Montel's speech.
Oh, that's too much.
Navy Montel, and
shout out to Montel
again. So inspiring. I mean, that was the whole point. It seemed like he was
like,
be you, be authentically you is his whole thing. And again, felt so inspired from that. And then even the last thing, the comedy show. I mean, and this is all just first day. This is all this first Friday.
Day. First day was goated. First day Blerdcon is GOAT status. Best thing I've ever, best event that I've ever paid to go to. That honestly,
right?
Like for a full event thing, it's the best thing I ever paid to go to. Day one of Blerdcon is the most worth I've ever paid for something, for sure.
I don't know. Was Rap Battle first day? Tell me it wasn't.
I honestly think that's first day too. Pretty much first day too.
All right, I agree. Fucking goated, dude.
Bro, first day is ridiculous.
But again, we see some comedy that I'm like, this is. I would say it's not hard. Like, I know talking on stage is hard.
Right.
Writing your own jokes difficult, but it seemed so doable. Again, inspiration, super inspiring. At least for me, because I like to write jokes. But like, yeah. So, anyways, that's how I felt. First date, my major takeaway from the thing, right? It's like I'm so inspired.
That that is that means a lot to me because like you don't get inspired that easy. Like it's like if anybody knows this guy, man, this is not a simple task to get this man. And this guy, he was legitimately brought up this panel thing like 3 or 4 times. Like I was like, okay, this guy really wants to do a panel. I'm like, all right, whatever, we can run the panel. Let's go, man. Let's do it. Why not? Like, and it's funny because like he had brought it up. Like Robert, I think Robert brought this up maybe once or twice other times at another con. Like, oh, maybe you could think about a panel. You look at the thing, like, yeah. And then this time he's like, panel. I'm like, okay, all right. It's like, so I thought that was, I mean, what else do you want from an environment like that besides, inspiration and camaraderie? We got both those things, And I think Montel's thing was almost for, I think, some people cathartic, like, because the Blerd community has like a unique set of struggles, especially growing up to the bullying, all that stuff. We almost get trauma bonded together. And that's what makes Blerdcon almost like this healing experience. And that's one of the big things that I loved about it, is that it feels like, especially in that panel with Montel, some people really healed. Like people were crying, talking about their experiences and the things they had to go through, and the people that really stuck up for them and inspired them and allowed them to be themselves. And that means a lot. And people don't get that space, especially Black people don't get that space to be like authentically themselves and just let it out, and no judgment. No one left that room talking about anybody crying. No one left that room. We're talking about it now, but not like in a bad way. And no one left that room like picking on anybody or anything like that. It was just like, in this room, let it out, and we understand, and we're with you. And that was it. And it's nothing but support and love, and it was great. It really was. Like, I didn't know, Montel didn't seem like he had, he was telling me the day of, he was like, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. But he came out off the cuff, I guess, a little bit off the cuff. And it was, I mean, nothing but, exactly, nothing but facts and an actual hard hitting, heartwarming sort of speech. So it was great. It was great.
And that was also his point to us, right? Was that we need to be inspiring. We need to continue being the nerds that we are, to inspire, the future generations to truly be themselves as well.
Right.
Again, super good.
All right.
And yeah, I was telling you that on Sunday. So Sunday we wanted to do some interviews and stuff. And yeah, and I do not think if I didn't go to those things, like if I didn't go to Montel's speech, I don't think I would have done interviews on Sunday. Like that's how inspired I was. Like, you know what? Fuck it, give me the mic. We running it, and yeah. So again, I'm telling you, that is, I don't know why why this is the con, but I feel unlocked a bit.
Yeah, keeping with the theme of authenticity and fresh ideas, that was a big takeaway for me. Like the first day, new things that I haven't experienced before at a convention, a rap battle, a comedy show. There were people just there was a Kendrick Lamar impersonator just walking around with the beatbox,
crazy,
not like us booming. They had the music playing all the time, all the great hits from the 70s and 80s, 90s. Like they just had it bumping and moving. People were just going with the flow. Montel's thing, so fresh and unique and authentic in his way, the way he spoke as well, the message he provided, like that was the big takeaway for me. Like, wow, I go in there for the first time, first Blerdcon, and I'm just blown away. I'm instantly hooked.
Right.
That's how I felt. Like, I think the first thing we did when we got there it may have been the second thing, but we went up to the roof for the rap battle, and I was just like, these people are so crazy good. Like, to come up with stuff on the top of their head. Like,
talent was crazy.
They just look at the other person, size them up, and just instantly bars come to their head. And it's just hot bars, bar after bar after bar. I'm just like, how do you do this? You know, we had the winner Trey Digger. We had literally two niggas was one of the guys up there. Like, that was his name. Literally two niggas. Like, not a mental disorder. He was literally two niggas. Like, I'm gonna keep saying it. But you know, it was just so refreshing because you know,
so funny.
We go to a con. There's always the usual events. There's always the cosplay meetups, the anime viewings, the artist alley, the vendors. And I'm like, yeah, you could find something unique there, but it's typically the same stuff over and over. I live for unique experiences. Like, even when I'm watching anime, I want something new, original, something that'll grab me, and I would just sit there and experience it, not watch it, experience it.
Right.
Like, that was the whole big thing for me. It's like, it was so cool to have fresh experiences and have, you know, go there with you all, have fun together. Even if we abandoned math one of the days. Anyway,
they didn't abandon me.
Yeah, it was cool. You know, unique cosplays. We saw the Tropic Thunder guy, Slimp Name Kickback, Pimp Name Slickback.
Yeah,
we saw the Kill La Kill Girl. We saw a lot of.
Yeah, we saw her.
My gosh, lot of cake, baby. Ooh. Anyway.
I was gonna mention that like, you remember we were sitting in the lobby, and this white boy comes walking in, right? And we're just like, you know what? He came for the culture, you know? And he walks, he looks left, he looks right. Big smile. Huge, biggest smile I've ever seen on a person. Right. And he just comes in, he's just like, all right.
This is what I paid for. Money well spent.
Yeah.
It was hype.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Blerdcon, aka CakeCon. That it was it was nothing but baked goods in there. Oh my goodness. But it was respectfully, of course. But yeah, it was great. Yeah, I think it was the first con where we had a consensus that all three of us had things that we really, really enjoyed, and like at the same time, multiple things all three of us really enjoyed. And it was like, we're gonna do this thing, and we're like, all right, we go actually get to this thing, right? Like we made a plan to actually go and do things, because they had so many good things that I think that we didn't even get to go to because a lot of stuff was conflicting time wise and hard to get to, and sometimes packed and stuff. So it was like, it's the most we've wanted to do at a con, you know, and that's part of the reason why we didn't get to do as many interviews and stuff. And I was definitely down and out. Last day, I was done. I was done on so many levels. On so many levels, it was like the night before was long. I was there. Me and Fred were out for a minute. We were doing a lot, and I mean, and the potential dehydration and sleep deprivation. I was done. I was done Sunday. I was not in shape. So anyway. But everything was really, really, really like a whole different experience, like Alonzo said. So I went in, I was like, would I do this again? And then when I left, I was like, I got to go back.
Right.
And they're doing it in March too. I'm like, come on, dude. Of course I'm going to come back in March. It's going to actually be decent weather. Like, come on. So hopefully at least it'll be ideal weather. Yeah. It was not ideal weather when we were there. And I guess that brings us into our least favorite thing about it, you know.
Oh, that's unanimous. We can all talk about that.
It is the
heat, dude. Oh my God. It was blazing. And like, day one, day one cosplays, man, were the worst choices we could have ever made ever. I'm like, I'm doing Shinsui, which has 3 layers of clothes on and a hat on.
Right.
I'm telling you, crazy. And I know Alonzo, you said your thing was thicker, right? Your
Mm-hmm.
robe was thick
Yeah.
as shit, and you had y'all had fucking
And
scarves.
People had
scarf. And the
scarves.
scarf. Indoors. In that heat. My God.
Oh my gosh.
But we killed it though.
Yeah, yeah.
And we did kill it though. And we got a good amount of stops of people just want to do pictures and stuff like that. And then a lot of people just commenting on it in general, just like, oh man, it's so cool, it's so cool. You're this, and this. It's awesome. It's so quick. So like a lot of that, a lot of love. And yeah, I mean, in a way, it's part of the experience, according to what people have told us, is that, you toast yourself trying to still represent with your cosplay, and that's in a way a part of the experience. And I will never forget that. I will never forget the way that cosplay stuck to me by the end of the night, because how much sweat was on my back, man. And it was crazy. Everybody was sweating. Everybody was sweating. So I was like, it wasn't looking cute, well, except for maybe the girls that were like wearing almost nothing. They were okay. But everyone else was just sweating out the wazoo. Everyone else was just like, hey man, we sweating together in unison. And somehow it still smelled better in there than some other cons. All that sweat. Just say it. But yeah, it was it was way too dang hot. And I mean, it was hot outside, so it didn't help. But then also the amount of people. I don't know if this was bigger than their usual or not, but I mean, it was a ridiculous amount of people. I had recorded at some point just the number of people walking in and out, and it was just like, it was like New York airport or something. It was crazy.
Day one, the AC was not working all that great either. So
No, it wasn't.
yeah, it was that was rough. But you said you remember seeing like the Black Panther cosplay, I think, right? Fully suited in the heat
Full
was
suit.
crazy.
And he had like a fur on.
Yeah. I was like,
I was
there's
like,
no way this guy's not gonna drop at some point. That's what I was thinking. I was just like, oh, he's out. You're cooked,
right.
literally.
100%. There was a couple people in like full suit. I forgot. Oh man, I just realized I missed that picture of that guy. But there was another dude in like a full armor suit thing, and I was like, and we were talking to some of the people that we had met there, and we were actually asking about that guy, and they said they had talked to him. And he was like, yeah, he was melting in that thing, dude. He was sizzling. Dude, it was like a freaking fajita tray in that thing. So he was struggling. So yeah, I mean, props to first off, anybody that cosplayed, period, that was like not a half naked cosplay. Maybe even the half naked cosplays is prop to you too. But anybody that was cosplaying something that had any amount of like layers or heavy clothing on, dude, or especially armor and stuff that you made, big props, because I canceled my cosplay for the next 2 days. I was like, forget it. I was like, after Friday, I was like, I am done. I can't do this again. And it just, I mean, it was just crazy. But again, makes it more memorable. I mean, did you think there was any particular event? If you had to pick one event that stood out the most, would you say there's any particular one? Like you say, this is the event that you think someone else should for sure go
to. Comedy show, 100%. For me, I mean, I don't know, man. I love stand up. I've always loved stand up, and yeah, and this was legitimately, I think it's probably one of the first actual stand up shows I've ever been to. So isn't that so surprising that it's at a Blerdcon, and
right?
and yeah, so I loved it. I loved every bit of it. I loved the host. She was great. It was Roxy. I think there's plenty of great stand ups there. And wait, I wanted to mention Violet Gray. That was a trans woman who did some stand up there, and she was very good. And yeah, I mean, it all was great. It was stand up, stand out. It was great.
Yeah. They were way funnier than I expected. Like
yeah.
they were legitimately funny. Like I belly laughed. Like like I don't think I'll ever forget the dick pic joke. Because I would feel so terrible if if I was the receiving end of that. I was like, oh my gosh. but yeah, there's some really, really great comics up there. And again, I don't know if we even I feel like it was a kind of a last minute pivot that we were like, oh, it's a comedy show. We should hit that.
Right.
And thank God we pivoted and did that, because that was definitely like that show by itself could have been, worth the cost of admission.
Yeah,
so that was great.
Yeah, the comedy show was great. I've already waxed poetic about the rap battle. That was pretty awesome to see as well. Mm-hmm. I just want to rant about the facilities. They need a bigger venue. They got so much people coming in. It's going to only get bigger. They need a bigger venue with better AC, free Wi-Fi. Of course, that's coming next year. But free Wi-Fi, bigger rooms so more people can attend events. Because there were events we wanted to go to, they just ran out of room. Right. So, I mean, that's a testament to how popular Blerdcon is, that everybody was there. Everybody wanted to do events, see what was happening. So that's pretty cool. Pretty neat that people were interested in it. So that's just my mini rant. I just want better things, but we can all have nice things anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think they probably should try and maybe either like split up events a little bit more, like between more. Because I feel like at times there were some rooms that were still kind of empty during some events. I was like, well, you could have spread this across all these rooms some way, or trying to find something like that. Or even, I feel like the main hall was used for some events that it didn't need to be used for at times. It was like I think, like, for example, I think the Wildin' Out event, the Blerding Out, or whatever it ended up being called, was like, I think that probably should have been in the main hall. Because I think like there was just a ridiculous amount of people, and if you've ever watched the show, it's pretty much structured like the main hall. It's not really conducive to kind of like a small room anyway. You kind of need like a big space for it to really, really be as successful as you want it to be. And maybe they wanted to just try and be more like tight knit sort of thing, so that it would be like, which I get. But then I also thought they could have used the rooftop more. Like they used the rooftop for the rap battle. I was like, that would have also been ideal for like the Wild 'N Out thing and a couple of the other events that I thought was like, again, kind of underused, So I don't know. I think just like planning out the stuff that kind of needs the space a little bit more would probably make it a little bit better. But again, I guess we need to try and get on the planning committee. Time to talk to Montel.
They put registration in another hotel, in a different hotel. That is the stupidest idea I've ever seen. Don't ever do that ever again. So many people were lost. We got lost. We were like, why is it in another hotel? Like, why we got to walk over there? I don't know.
With the smallest sign ever created.
Smallest
sign. Follow the sign. She's like, follow the sign. I was like,
a note card sitting in the corner, what is this? Registration.
And literally, right there. So many people kept asking us. I don't know if we look like we just work there, but so many people kept asking us, like, "Oh, do you know where?" Like I think we had to guide at least 3 to 4 people, if not more. Like maybe even more than that, and like it's crazy. Like you probably and the thing is, it's not even like in the front of the building of that other place. It's like in the back, all these turns. Like just put, like if you're gonna do it, put it at the front. Like put it in the front little lobby area so we can like, all right, done, right? But yeah, again, I think probably smarter. They have everything else there, the weapon registration and some of the other stuff there. So I'm like, why not just have that there too? I thought that was a little silly, but yeah, minor things that I think they could fix that could make it just really put it over the top and make it like elite, even though it's already a really, really, really great con. And now I'm going to Otakon like, I don't know how you're gonna follow that one up. because other than these small things, like everything else was fantastic. So yeah, I mean, I don't think there was I don't know if there was a particular event for me. I think Alonzo kind of hit the ones that I would say. the rap battle was the most unique one for sure. And I just think my favorite event in general was just the whole thing, like we talked about, just like the people, the vibe, the energy, always just like there was just no negativity. There's no negativity. I don't think there was no fights. There was nobody. I don't think anybody got kicked out. I've seen people kicked out of every other con I've been to. I don't think anybody got kicked out. Nobody was super crazy or disrespectful. Like I said, we step on shoes, something like that by accident. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's chill, it's fine." Like, again, but if we're talking about outside of the ones you guys already brought up, then you just got to go in general. Like you got to go and experience it. So I don't know. What do you think? You felt like there was anything that was surprising about the con, though? I feel like there's a few things that surprised me.
I mean, you guys already talked about the rap battle, so I don't know. There's something about rap battles that get like I don't know. There's something about it that I am disturbed. It's like there's a lot of aggression and there's a lot of like hate, and I don't like hate.
This battle was anime focused.
But that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying is different, though. I'm like, I did not feel that the same way that I would have felt that in any, like in any other rap battle that I've heard, where it's just like, I hate you, I want to kill you, and instead it's just like, no. Here are these really funny or like really creative ways to say I hate you and I want to kill you, and I don't know, they were so good. All of them were so good. There was one part I don't remember any of the things, but I remember at some point, literally, two niggas was like, "Give me your energy." I was like, "Oh god, that is funny."
Like, no,
everybody's sitting there like, "I got you."
That's crazy.
Most surprising thing. I don't know. Like there were unique things. I wasn't really surprised by anything. They did have some nice live music outside, all black bands, and they were playing some really good covers. So I really appreciate them. I don't know their names, but y'all did a great job out there.
Yeah, I think the surprising thing for me was just the like how different people still were, even amongst like this commonality of being a blurred. Like there's these like anime blurs, and there's like these 90s cartoon blurs, and there's like this like black sitcom sort of blurs, and it's like these people that are into like movie sort of blurs and video game sort of like it's which I guess that's with everything, but it was just so crazy like to see kind of like all these little subsets, and then but still have them again mesh perfectly, no issues, no problems. And to break down that narrative of like, oh, black people get together, there's gonna be some craziness going on, right? And literally nothing happened like at all the whole time. Like the worst thing is people got really drunk, which happens at every con. Every con, yeah, people get really drunk. So it's like at least every decently major con that has any sort of night things. But yeah, I thought that was like the most surprising thing, because it's like, I mean, I think I talked to Robert a little bit about this, because I was like, just like there's different shades of black, it's different kinds of blurred. And it's like, maybe I myself or some people there didn't find their exact sort of niche of blurred. But it's important that a place like that, like Blerdcon, exists as a space for people to really kind of discover and like explore their own personalities and their interests in a really like safe and comfortable environment, like without being judged. Like that's the big things. Like, nobody was judging anybody. There was some admiring glances or some curious glances at times, but no one was like judging, right? No one's getting laughed at, no one's getting picked on, no one's getting messed with. It was like, hey, that's you doing you. Cool, you doing you. I'm glad you get to do you. And that was like pretty much all it was left at. And I think that was just beautiful. Like that was the most beautiful part of it. Like I think that happens at cons, but I've still had a lot of people, especially black people, at cons when they're cosplaying or doing other stuff, that it's like, they get more, accusatory looks or things that aren't, or feedback that isn't as positive. And I think even at some con, I can't remember what con where we had went to, where there was where we'd meet other black people that were into anime and stuff. And they would be like, they were like, we didn't really know we could cosplay. But you guys made it look good. So it's like we're going to actually try and do it, you know. So I think that is a really really cool part of it, and again a little bit surprising because again after our experience with these other cons, I didn't expect to be so many cosplays and so many different takes on stuff, and so many that are just really really good in general, like really really good, like way too much detail. I'm like, I literally had to ask so many people how many hours people put in. It's like, oh, I put in days into this cosplay, put in months into this cosplay. I'm like, that's crazy, dude. Like, you just dedicate, you know, all of your life outside of whatever your main thing is, job, school, whatever. It's basically just doing this, and that's all. That's crazy. But props to them because everybody out there was killing it, man. They were looking great.
Agreed.
I will say, go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, we were doing the interviews, and yeah, that was another thing that I was asking people. I was like, okay, what is your, you know, how did you feel about this? Because they're basically like last day, we're giving them basically exit interviews. Everyone's saying, love it. You need to come. You need to come again. You need to, like, this is my third time being at Blerdcon. This is my second time being at Blerdcon, you know, and everyone's saying that they enjoyed it. Like, there's one guy, he was cosplaying. He was like, I didn't cosplay the first year, but came back cosplaying this year, you know, and he was in like, and he was basically just had like a real small shirt on that he could just really take off, right? And I'm like, yeah, he knew about the heat. He was here last time.
You could tell who the vets are. You could tell who the veterans were because they cosplayed so smartly. Like they made all these modifications. Like the person I did, I think I just posted this, the Kingdom Hearts cosplay. She was like, yeah, I had a whole robe and stuff, but we made modifications to do the heat friendly version of our cosplay. And I was like, smart, very smart. People had fans, like the personal fan things. I was like, oh, you guys are geniuses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, we were kind of in our own world at Blerdcon because there were some national events taking place, and I really didn't care. Like, it should have been something serious, but I was enjoying myself at Blerdcon. Everybody else was enjoying themselves. Nobody freaked out. Everybody was calm. Everybody was like, "Hey, we're here. We're gonna do this, and we're having fun." It was a good time.
Right. Just reprieve from real life for a little bit.
Right.
That's true. Yeah. It never got brought up. That's a good point. I didn't hear anything about it. Like, and even we saw, the only reason we saw it is because one of the TVs in one of the hotels had it. And I was like, okay, back to the con. Like, so it was definitely nice to be away from all that, you know, and dedicate our extraness to to the con and not to life struggles. But yeah. And speaking of extra, do we have extra time?
We have extra time. There's always time for extra time because it was only a matter of extra time. Anyhow, starting off with some oldie but goodie NBA news. The Boston Celtics are your 2024 NBA World Champs. This is old news, but they beat the Dallas Mavericks in 5 games in a series that was never truly in doubt about who would win. Jaylen Brown won Finals MVP, and now the Celtics become the hunted for the new season kicks off in the fall. So congratulations for the Celtics for a masterclass season. Also in NBA news, the draft took place. And while the Atlanta Hawks had the number 1 overall pick, the major news in this draft was a player selected near the end of the second round. But I'll start with the player with the number 1 pick. This draft was labeled by insiders as a weak draft for talent overall, and there was no consensus true number 1 player. Still, for the second year in a row, a French player was taken number 1 overall, and player Zachary Rissacher. So congratulations to him. May his career be long and satisfying. Now, the player who was drafted late in the second round at the end of the draft was none other than Bronny James, the son of all-world player LeBron James. Bronny was selected with the 55th pick of the draft by the Los Angeles Lakers, who also employ his father. So next season should mark the first time in NBA history that a father and son duo played in the NBA at the same time and on the same team, no less. So quite the achievement, and it really highlights LeBron James' longevity and talent. So congrats to father and son. In soccer news, we've got some major tournaments that happened in lead up to the Summer Olympics in Paris. First up with the UEFA European Championship, or the Euros as it's known by. A lot of competitors fought for the chance to call their country the best. But in the end, the finals came down to two teams, Spain versus England. Spain was dominant leading up to the finals, and the outcome was inevitable as Spain won their fourth Euro championship by a score of 2-1 versus England. So congratulations to Spain. Meanwhile, back in the Americas, the Copa America tournament was being played, and while the final match was played in the United States, with terrible logistics to boot. If you heard about the stadium in Miami, it was a terrible situation. People were just climbing the gates, breaking in. But I digress. The home team of the Team USA was predictably bounced early on, so much so that they even fired their head coach again. So not looking good for the U.S. in the Olympics, the first one they even qualified for since 2008. But hey, at least they made it. But the final match in the Copa America tournament was played between Argentina and Colombia. Argentina recently won the 2022 World Cup, and they were on top again, winning their 16th Copa America championship by a score of 1-0, in spite of an injured Lionel Messi. So congratulations to Argentina, and we'll get to do it all again in a couple of weeks when we see who's the world's best in time for the Olympics. But now, speaking of the Olympics, there's something that you may enjoy, audience. There's going to be an esports Olympics. And it's going to be the inaugural Esports Olympic Games in 2025. So you heard me right, gamers. Esports will have its place in the Olympics as a sport. You will be considered an athlete. How about that? So the reasoning behind this is that the International Olympic Committee, the IOC, has been trying for years to connect with a younger generation of potential Olympic fans, with its traditional Olympic audience aging and interest declining. The inaugural esports games will take place in Saudi Arabia, of all places, of course, Saudi Arabia. And while there's no word on what the games will be eligible for the Olympics, I doubt we'll see fan favorites like Call of Duty, League of Legends, or even Smash Ultimate. There's probably going to be some boring games, probably some simulators like bow and arrow, sailing, tennis, Wii Sports type games, but we'll see. So yeah, it may have the most bland games in existence, but time will tell if a younger audience embraces an Olympics esports. So gamers, drink your G Fuel and suit up for your chance to do your country proud. Now, finally, in Formula One news, Sir Lewis Hamilton, the only black driver in the history of F1, has finally won again. He got his first victory since late 2021 in the 2024 British Grand Prix, his home race, and a race he's won now for a record 9th time. He extended his F1 record wins to 104, which is ridiculous, and it still shows he still got it. Now, in his victory interview, he was clearly emotional, and he put it out there that at the age of 39, he didn't know if he would ever win again or if he still had it. But he drove a masterful race, and he was able to hold off a faster car at the end to get the job done. Now, I want to talk to you guys about having it and feeling of if you don't have it. We go through our lives thinking we got this or I can do this when we do things, but naturally, as we age, we lose some ability to do things that we used to be able to do flawlessly. For me, I used to be able to read 700-page Harry Potter books in 2 days. Like, I could just pick it up next day or over a weekend and be done by Monday morning for school. So it now takes 2 days for me to even attempt to get through 70 pages of a book. And that's just being generous. 70 pages, that's a lot for me. I used to feel smarter and have a better capacity for memory, but as I've aged and getting closer to the inevitable age of 30, God, I'm going to be old, which with the way I live will probably be my midlife crisis. So, 30s, my midlife crisis, so obviously I'm only going to live till 60 at best. I found that I feel I don't have it anymore. So I used to think hot shit about myself like I could do anything. Now I have days where I find it hard to get out of bed. Today was no different. So I wanted to ask you, what is something you think is your it? And what would you try to do to combat the effects of time to maintain it?
Damn.
Right? You said my surprise question was tough. Yeah, really hard hitting. Eventually on the day where we already said none of us had a good day. Now we contemplate life.
You you better hold that shit.
Right? You said you were inspired.
Yeah.
You should start. You're inspired. You start.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think there's a lot of things that I feel I had it and it it is not the same anymore. I mean, there's plenty of like video game talent. Even it's just like I mean, it's that
100%.
thing that's like if you practice it, you know if you keep at it,
All right.
you won't lose all of it. But like I don't play games, so now I pick up a game and I'm like, oh yeah, no. Like imagine the next GTA comes out and it's just like, oh, this is like a regular game. Like we've always been playing it, and we always be able to beat it. And we play it. I swear, it's gonna be too hard. I'm like, and that's never happened. A video game being too hard. But I played Spider-Man, the latest Spider-Man, and that's what happened. It's like, oh, this game feels difficult. What's happening? I've never felt that. So yeah. Anyways, so video games have been like that, but also like communication and stuff, and like talking to people, like being like really quick witted, like I feel like that's not always where I want it to be. And yeah, I just know that it's like it's not something I'm working, and if it's not something you work in, it's not something you're gonna keep. So
Right.
it's like that's why I enjoy going to cons and stuff, because it allows us to engage those parts of our brain that it seems like we only get when we're in those social gatherings. So yeah, I mean, we're all getting old, but that's not the end of the world.
Right.
Everyone's also getting old, right? So like just as
Right.
much as we are losing it, everyone else is also losing it. So we're equally sucking at things, So it's not as bad
Right.
as we say.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, the big it, my knees are my big it, man. Oh my gosh, my knees. No. Oh my gosh, dude. I can't do ish with these things anymore, bro. That jump, like they be trying to play that, like, what's that song? The cha-cha slide. How low can you go? Not that low no more, DJ. Not that low. It's over, dude. I give you 2 those. That's it, man. I can't go no lower, man. So, no, but I've been actively working on that at the gym, knee rehab thing, so to make sure I can keep my knees as long as I can. So, I mean, yeah, I think it just takes more concerted effort to keep it than it used to, right? Like, and just all things. Like, I do think certain things are better. Like, I think, my just in general mental fortitude and not letting things just ruin the whole day. I think that's improved when just like you go through stuff as an adult and you're just like, okay, this isn't that big a deal. I've had this happen a million times. It sucks, but it's not going to be the end of the world, and just knowing that. And I think in general, just like, okay, I know that I have limitations now, but at least I know the limitations. As you're younger, you don't even know the limitations. You're just doing ish, and you f up from like ridiculously. Like it's almost comical how bad you f up because you don't know your limitations. But now it's like if I make a mistake, it's a little one because like I know my limitations. If I go too far, it's only a little too far, not way too far like it used to be. So it's like, I mean, yeah, you definitely don't have the it factor that you used to, but you can still keep it, work on those things, and I think, yeah, I don't know. Outside of that, I think probably just it takes so much to upkeep your body and your physical appearance. You used to eat whatever you wanted to, didn't matter. You'd be alright. Your face won't break out off of just sugar. You won't blow up just because you ate a couple cheeseburgers. Like you have to exercise like crazy, all that sort of stuff, and you have to do nothing to your hair, would just be nice, all that sort of stuff, and like didn't have no skincare routine, nothing, just splash water and you're good. And none of that is the case anymore. None of that's the case.
Hell no.
And so I mean, it's I don't know, it's a struggle, but it also gives you an appreciation for things. And I think that's what I've learned is even though I don't have it, I have gained a lot of other things. Even though I'm losing some of those it factors that I used to have. So. But yeah, I mean, now that we've done it, we've completed the show. Again, we'll be at Otakon as our next con. It'll be, I think, first week in August, like 2nd to the 4th, I think is Otakon. So you'll see a couple of us there. Hopefully some of our other extended friends will be there too. And hopefully, again, if you see us there, say hey, drop by for interview, picture, just talk. We're good with just talking too. Just say what's up. So, and again, we appreciate you guys. Hopefully, we'll be a little more consistent with the posting moving forward. Yeah, working
No
on it.
promises ever. we don't owe you anything.
life be doing its thing, man. Life be doing its thing. That's all I'm saying. It's just hard. This issue is hard, but
100%.
we're there with you with Procrastination Podcast. We're always there with you guys. Don't think you're struggling by yourselves. We struggling too. So you're not alone. No, but we appreciate you guys for real. And hopefully we'll see some of you guys at Otakon. If not, we'll see you at some of the cons later on. I think we're still going to go to NecoCon, a couple of these other ones, Superstar Anime. So if not then later. But if not, still see us on our page, Instagram, on the YouTube, subscribe, like, all those good things. Say hello, comment. Like I said, don't make me beg for interaction again. Don't make me beg. All right? Thank you. Anyway, y'all have a good week, good day, good night. We out.